Welcome to Epilepsy
Today!
Yes, Margaux! Here we are again!
It's like deja vu.
All over again!
See, already I'm going to be the straight man.
You already know, Brian.
Yes, we have Brian Thompson with us. Hi, Brian. How you doing?
Great. Good to be here with you and Margaux.
Yay!
Yeah,
Somebody
all
likes
calm
us.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Must be you have control of your prefrontal.
Prefrontal cortex.
What's going on in the prefrontal cortex here?
I think I turn mine off a lot of the time.
What?
Yeah.
I'd have never thought that.
Well, we might be losing people, Tom. Well, I guess we were talking about juvenile myoclonic epilepsy in the prefrontal cortex, and what these people tend to be risk takers because maybe their prefrontal cortex isn't so strong.
Operating properly.
Margaux has
Impulsive.
You would face it, but this is there was a study out that's saying that happens to be so. But as I read that study, I think there were like 22 people in it.
Oh, that's what.
Which is
I heard you two talking.
Pretty small study size.
It was 21 that were in it, and 11 that were in control. Yeah.
So I don't know if you got to take that with a pretty big chunk of salt, I think.
Well, and it'd be interesting too, I think, with the JME, like we were talking earlier with Brian, like what are the, we learn so much about epilepsy and different types of seizures, but really trying to figure out what are the reasons for that, like why those may be impulsive, or maybe we're just special. How many people have JME? Because I've never even thought about that. How many people are affected with JME just in that realm of epilepsy?
I would have to look it up.
You haven't researched? Come on, see what I'm working with. It's all about me and the JME.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
No worries.
Next time I see you, I'll have that. In fact, I'll text that to you.
Aye,
Okay.
Captain.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I promise.
Yeah, and I think that's because I was saying that I felt like there should have been maybe some more information from it, because I started feeling some type of way because they were saying there was an inability to learn, or it was hard, and I'm thinking I'm pretty smart. I've been working hard to be smart.
I know you have.
Yeah. What you mean?
I know that you're smart.
I've been working hard to be. But yeah, so I think that would be, and that's something that I was just thinking about. How many people really are affected by that JME? And then another question, which is kind of off tangent, but I thought about it with the JME, finding out more, is JME just the type of epilepsy that can be genetic, or can all epilepsy be genetic?
JME has got a genetic predisposition associated with it, and it's a syndrome. Okay, and it's a very specific. When we talk about an epilepsy syndrome, what we're talking about is a type of epilepsy that starts at a specific age and time. Okay, so there's most people start JME.
Second decade.
Yeah, second decade. Yeah.
15 years old, I think, is the average age of onset.
Yeah, so that's why they call it juvenile, because it happens in that second decade of life, and there are specific things that we see, specific types of seizures that we see with JME. We see myoclonic jerks. We sometimes see generalized tonic-clonic or grand mal seizures, and sometimes we'll even see absence seizure activity with JME. So those are there are specific types of seizures that are associated with it. Also, there are specific types of medication that seem to be very, very effective in controlling JME. Not only that, JME is predictable. Okay, the course of somebody being diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy is predictable. Most people get relatively good control, if not complete control over their seizures with certain types of medications. But it doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't something that, you know, because a lot of times parents will hang on to the idea, well, you know, if there's no real cause for the epilepsy, it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen with JME, even though you get complete control of your seizures. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you stop taking meds and...
Well, one interesting part about the syndrome is that early morning, upon awakening, that's when
The
the jerks tend to happen.
Yeah, either that or if you become overtired or overstressed. Those are three of the major things that you need to kind of avoid. So if you stay, so you don't wake up in the morning.
Don't wake
Oh,
up.
God.
Don't get
Well, I want to wake
Stay
up.
asleep.
I just think I need to put that in like my accommodations for work. Like, don't stress me out. Let me come in late and, hey, what a great Margaux.
Did you notice that, Margaux, in the morning? That's when you would have jerks?
I would have to say probably more in the morning than throughout the day. It just seems like that's a hard time to start. It's almost like I always I think about it like this if I try to explain to somebody. It's like starting your car and the battery's dead. You gotta keep turning it and turning it. And so it's kind of like, when is it gonna start?
Yeah.
So I think like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll just feel like I'm not there. Like my head will feel weird. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I hope I'm not about to have a seizure. But as the course of the morning goes on and I start getting like within my routine, then it starts to kind of just subside. But but I think like again about that stress part, I rarely have them during the day. I feel like if I'm having them in multiples, there's probably going to be a generalized tonic-clonic seizure coming.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get those repeatedly like back to back, I know that I need to either go back to sleep or do something different, which usually, especially after I had that seizure in March, like if I get jumpy like that, I just won't go out because I just don't want to have that opportunity of falling again.
Can I ask what medication you're taking?
Sure, everybody knows on in the world.
TV land
Yeah,
out there?
everybody knows.
Well,
They'll probably
Tom
say it
Tom
with
said
me.
you were
Everybody knows on
comfortable with all
YouTube.
this, so yeah, I didn't want to
We're probably
pry,
getting
but
tweets about it right now, aren't we?
No,
Tom
like she's
mentioned-
forever talking about Lamictal. Like, yeah.
well, Tom mentioned that there were specific medications for JME, so
Yeah, I'm on Lamictal, but I had no idea that that's why. Like, I mean, and I think that that's again how we talk about just the show and all of the things that come from it. Like, I learned and I gain information all the time when I'm here, so I didn't know that there was, you know, those particular medicines that would really help and assist with it. I felt like with the dosage that I'm on, because I'm on such a low dosage, maybe that's why they applied trying to prescribe me the Lamictal. As initially when I did have the, when I on the onset of diagnosis that I had Opson seizures, I started on Depakote, and that was just really too hard for the body.
Depakote is the number
Big
one
for-
medication prescribed for the control of JME.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it did not work well with me. It ended up bruising my colon, and so I was probably about 10 having a colonoscopy, and I'm telling you, I don't know how everybody feels about it when they get older, but as a kid, it's not fun either.
well, yeah, and Depakote might be more for the men, the boys with it too, because weight gain for women. And,
Yeah,
the
that's,
baby,
you know, I think it's
toxicity.
still indicated, but you have to be careful with, you have to,
Childbearing age.
yeah, women of childbearing age have to be real careful with Depakote.
Okay.
Depakote has been linked to birth defects,
Oh.
neural tube defects.
Oh,
Okay, defects of the neural tubes.
Oh.
So not a good thing,
Yeah.
not a good
Yeah.
thing at all.
Now I had a
Plus
question.
weight gain, yes, you're right. Hair loss, weight gain.
No, I don't need none of that.
So all kinds of.
Maybe the weight
That's
gain,
not
I'm
hard.
okay with that, but I don't need any more hair loss. I think I'll take care of that on my own personal accord. Now, this is what I was going to ask, and it's probably still more of a joke. So, you know, you got your absence, or, you know, I know at one time they were the petit mal seizures, and then you got the juvenile myoclonic. So what happens after juvenile? Do they have an adult seizure, like a grown-up seizure? Because if you got the juvenile, is there an adult epilepsy.
You're sort of stuck in that spot forever.
No wonder I'm still such a kid. I'm
Well,
still
if
so juvenile.
If you're talking terminology, Margaux, I mean, adults later in life, there's new epilepsy or new onset seizures.
Oh, yeah, you can develop
as you get older.
At a time, yeah.
Because it's early in life and then again late in life.
Actually, late in life more often than early in life. So that's one thing that you don't have to worry about.
Because I stayed young with
Oh,
my juvenile. Yes.
Epilepsy.
And you know, I did, when I had my event, we did put up a lot of different facts as far as about epilepsy. And that's one thing that I read about, that the baby boomer age has been seen to be more affected by epilepsy and having seizures than any other age group. So I don't know what type of partying y'all were doing back in the day.
No. It's got nothing. It's
kidding.
got nothing to do with that. Don't be blaming the second greatest generation in America's history.
And then it trailed off again.
Well, it did say just in that, it did make reference to the baby boomers, but it also was just, I think that, like you were saying, just that latter part of life when, you know,
your brain starts to deteriorate. Yeah.
I have to put it like that. That sounds real sad.
But it's true.
I mean, I know,
but that's part of the process, part of aging.
Oh, this age deal.
Well, now,
you don't have to worry about that yet. They don't, it's okay. It beats the alternative.
Yeah.
So, Margaux, thank you so much for, talking openly to us about your JME, your juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. And certainly, if anybody would have any questions, they could give us a call at
513-721-05.
Or they could even email us at www.Cincinnati
hyphen.
I like hyphen better than dash. You know that. At Cincinnati-Ohio.org.